And it says we're live. We are driving down the road all by myself, and I miss all of you. So I decided I would turn on the camera. And those of you that are out there able to jump in live, we can have a conversation, at least until cell signal gives out. So got a few miles yet before that happens. Probably a good 20, 30 minutes. So I thought I would get some good time in with followers because I miss you guys. I don't know, I kind of feel both ways. I miss talking to everybody, and I miss interacting with you every week. But at the same time, I don't know, I really can't say that I miss being tied down to a weekly podcast either. So, it's just one of those things. So I figured we'll see who's out there watching. As you're joining us, say hi. Put a comment in there so I can see that you're out there, because it might say there's one or two people watching, or hopefully more, but it doesn't say who. So throw those comments in there so I can see who's out there. You know what? I got a lot of things swimming around in my head to try to make any one of them into a coherent thought at this point and into an actual video. I figured, well, that's not really going to work. So let's just go live and have a little Q&A. It is currently, according to my dashboard, 6 degrees below zero for an air temp, although the wind chill, the way the wind's blowing, holy crap, it's got to be closer to about 30 below wind chill. It was not pleasant pumping gas earlier, that's for sure. But it's nice and warm in here. The heater works great on the vehicle here. So even though the wind is roaring through, about like I said, got to be close to 30 below wind chill. Motor's not having any trouble generating enough heat to pipe it into the cab, so no trouble there. Where are you? Also, those of you that are watching, and how cold is it, or how warm is it where you are? We say that it's cold, but there's honestly no such thing as cold. Isn't that cool? There's only heat or lack thereof. So really, we just have to say how warm is it. But I got to tell you, as a guy that's really well insulated, and I can take the colder temperatures a lot better than most. But I got to say that these last couple days, this last week or so, it's been cold. Absolutely, it has been. So, when I say that it's cold, everybody else has been cold for about the last 30 degrees. So, driving out across Nebraska here, I'm going to head up and do a little late season antlerless hunting. So we'll see if there's any more deer out and about now than there were a couple months ago in November. Just couldn't get anything to move past us to save our lives. For that week in November, I only had about 3 days to hunt, and then I only hunted about 2.5 of those days. Vanessa Kitty's out there in Connecticut, 33 degrees, and that's not even a negative 33. Well, that's just cheap. That seems like a heat wave. That's not even. You can leave a bucket of water out on the porch, and it's not going to freeze at night at 33 degrees. Coldest she's been in the Arctic assignment in the early 80s. Well, I should probably shut up about my whining, because it's going to be a lot colder there. But I see a few more people watching. Who else besides Vanessa's out there? And let me know where you are and what the temperature is where you are. Yeah, right now, it's warming up. It just changed to 5 below. It was 6 below when I started this. So, it's getting down to the teens tonight in Connecticut. Well, good. It's actually not going to be too bad, I don't think, on Wednesday. That's the day I have to come home. So we'll see if there's deer movement. I kind of figure when the air temp is below zero, I may or may not opt to shoot something even if I do see it for the first day or two, just because I'm lazy. But plus, I don't want to. I don't want to have to gut out a deer in just my shirt sleeves when it's that cold out. My hands will be warm, but the rest of me will get mighty chilly. Nor do I want to take my nice coat or my nice hoodie sweatshirt and stick those sleeves up into a deer's cavity very badly either. Get that all nasty. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I've actually got 2 tags, so I could bring home 2 deer, although I'm not gonna process 2 deer. So unless I know of somebody back in my town where I live or somewhere between where I grew up and where I live now to drop off a deer, it's probably not going to happen. I'll be happy to fill 1 tag. We'll see. We'll see. Ideally, I could do something tomorrow night, and it would have a chance to hang at least overnight and get everything kind of drained out. But you know what? That's nice and bright right there, and where's the sunshine? Right there, brighten you guys all out. I've brought them home before when we didn't have a chance to hang them up. Downed them on the same day that we were headed home, so definitely we'll have a chance to get cool on the ride home. Between 2.5 and 3 hours. It's taken a little bit longer today to get up here because I made a couple stops, but also because it's not bad on the highway, but some of the towns, I just drove through O'Neill a little while ago, and some of the towns like O'Neill, it's completely snowpacked still on the streets in town, even on the main drag, the highway running through. So it's people get in front of you and insist on driving 6 miles an hour, even in a big pickup, just because they don't know what they're doing, or they don't know how to drive, or they don't know how to stop. So it takes longer to get through when somebody's doing that. I've had that happen to me a few times. One guy was so obsessed with getting stopped at a red light that he was still working on stopping, and he wasn't even up to the line yet. And after it turned green before he got there, and he was still intent on stopping and hadn't paid attention that he didn't have to stop. He could go. So then he got stopped, and he looked up, and then he couldn't go. He was just spinning his wheels. So that took a little bit of time, and I'm not the most patient when it comes to, especially when I'm in the car. I'm not a patient person anyway, but I get in the car, and all of a sudden, everybody's in the way. Nobody knows what they're doing. And I don't know if that happens to any of the rest of you, but I swear it's like flipping a switch. Everybody just turns that on, turns on the stupid when I get out on the public streets. So, but driving out across the highway's been great. I'm not really set up to flip the camera around and show you, but I mean it's been like this right here, where there's a little bit of snow blowing across the road, not anything to speak of. Just it looks like ghosts. It looks like fog blowing across the road. But nothing any higher than it's just blowing across the surface of the road. Not enough to make drifts or anything like that. It's just the really loose snow dust, I guess, kind of how I would say it. So, but other than that, no problems on the highway itself. It's just when you get into some of these towns where it's been drifted through, they've opened it up, but it's not scraped down to the pavement, so you're driving across hard-packed snow. Not a big deal if you know what you're doing and you've driven on snow and ice before. So Shane's out there. What's up, Shane? How are you? Did they get the heat fixed at your store? That's what I want to know. Or is it 5 below inside where you are right now too, like it is where I'm driving. For those of you that don't know Shane, he's coming in on the Facebook side over there. Yeah, I saw a post here earlier where it was about 50 degrees in the store because the heat went out. And of course, it's hard to get anybody over to look at it and work on it over the weekend, I'm sure. So it had been a great experience for everybody. But it's a bed store, so you should be able to just get some blankets out, I would think. There we go. Speaking of people driving 6 miles an hour, get around somebody on the highway there. Oh, progress was slowed a little bit. I wasn't really speeding. I mean, I set my cruise about 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. I think I'm not exactly sure. I think my speedometer is a little off to begin with. So I think if it says I'm doing 66, I'm actually doing 65. So I set it about 67. Figure I'm probably pretty safe about in there. And then I came up behind a state patrolman who apparently didn't have cruise set because their speed, I don't know, I guess never did see if it was a male or a female state trooper, but their speed was all over the map. So I was just trying to match speed. They were never going slow enough that I could pass them without, safely pass them in a short amount of space without having the speed. So I never went around them. And after about 30 miles or so, they finally pulled off and went a different way. And I kept on going on my merry way. So, yeah, Shane went up and at his work, and he's busy. Hey, Gary's up there too. What's up, Gizzard? Good to see everybody again. I said before anybody joined up when I first opened up the stream here, I missed everybody. I missed the interaction and being able to talk to everybody, but I still don't know that I miss being tied down to going live every week. So I don't know. I don't think that I don't miss you guys. Can't stress that enough. Just there was so much going on, and something had to give, and it was the thing that I did as a hobby, did for fun, but didn't make any money doing. That's what went. So trying to keep everything, all the other irons in the fire, hot still. So still working the main job, still doing DJ work, still doing classes as well, firearms instruction, trying to keep all that busy, still working, not working, still volunteering, serving on the board for Nebraska Firearm Owners Association, working through some of that stuff. If you're in Nebraska, especially in eastern Nebraska, and then I would highly recommend you go to Lincoln this coming weekend. The 19th, 20th, and 21st, I want to say. So I will. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo is going to be out at the what used to be the Lancaster Event Center. Now it's something with Sandhills in the name, although they're no affiliation to me. But the something Sandhills something or other event center. It's the same place, new name, new sponsor. Some of those venues change their sponsor name every several years after contracts run out. So that's where it is. It's out there on like 84th Street, and I want to say it's not Superior. It's whatever one keeps going east. I get my streets mixed up now. I can drive right to it. Supposed to make money doing I don't think you are, Gary. Not supposed to make money doing live streams, which is why that's the thing that got cut, and that's what I'm saying. And we kept doing the other stuff that does bring in a little money every now and then. So that's what happened. Gary, what's your temperature there in Kansas, where you are right now? A little while ago, Vanessa said it was about 33 degrees in Connecticut where she is, but it's supposed to get down to the teens tonight for an overnight low. So I haven't even double checked here. Well, I think I might have looked this morning, but I don't remember what it did say, and I haven't checked since then what they're calling for. An overnight low up here. My dad's where I'm headed to Wuhan. So definitely, well, it's not even above zero now, so the overnight low is going to be, I think, in double digits below zero. So I'll see what happens. I might frosty in the morning, but I do have some boots. I left them up there after November rifle season, knowing I'd be coming back in January. I've got some boots from Sportsman's Guide that no paid ad there. I love these boots, and I want you to find them too. If you're looking for the warmest boots out there, these are the warmest I've found from their own brand there. But 2,400 grams insulate. I mean, these things are thick. They look like something. Well, they don't look like something Gene Simmons would wear actually, but the soles are super thick because of all the insulation. Even underneath the footbed, the bottoms are insulated too. So I mean, the soles are like that thick. It's almost like wearing platform boots. Kind of cool though. Makes you think maybe I'm walking on the moon or something. Which is not to say that I can moonwalk, because I cannot. But the price on those boots, if you catch them on sale, they're about $120 or $130. They're not bad for what they offer you, and I can tell you that your feet will stay toasty warm down to a very, very cold temperature. So I'm going to test them on some sub-zero temps in the morning, and we'll just see exactly how long it takes before my toes get cold. I got a feeling that my legs will be cold before my toes are. So we'll see. I wasn't smart enough to get like some Under Armour base layer or some sort of long john stuff to go underneath my pants. But I do have some insulated hunting pants that match my parka, and I've also got some just good old regular insulated coveralls. So I think I'll be okay. What did Gary say? Hold on here. I've got to get past this spot right here. 5 above and snow showers, wind chill 11 below, overnight low 2. So, wow, yeah. What's up, Brent? How are you? That's all right. Better in late than never. I'm headed up to where I came from, headed up to my dad's. Time to do a little late season doe hunting. Not necessarily doe, antlerless deer hunting. Any bucks that have dropped their antlers by now would also be fair game, as long as they've both. Can't shoot anything with. What are they? The state of Nebraska considers it an antler deer if it has at least one antler measuring 6 inches or longer. So a button buck, in the fall for an antlerless tag would be legal. It's just a tragedy. I don't know anybody that's ever shot a button buck thinking it was a doe that was happy about it. Because that usually means they're awful tiny too. So, anyway, that's the deal. For those of you that are Nebraska hunters, if you've never checked out the river antlerless permits, you really need to. There are a lot of rivers. Most of the major rivers in Nebraska are listed. Even not so major ones like the Kippaha River, where I'm going to go hunt. You've got to be within 3 miles of the riverbank. So one night I took one of those flat maps and a piece of string, figured out on the map scale where it was 3 miles, and I just traced along the riverbank, and I figured out that almost the entire ranch is within 3 miles of the riverbank. There's only a few spots where you're farther out than that, it wouldn't be legal to hunt on this tag. But lucky for me, those are spots where you may see, 1 or 2 deer every now and then run through there, but they're typically not where they congregate. So not a big deal. Never had a problem with not hunting those spots. Squib, what did you click on? Just me rambling. Just a few musings from the old driver's seat. What's your temperature over there today, Squib? I'm asking everybody. My vehicle says we're back to 6 below now. I am out in the open. Big old long stretch here where there's nothing upwind of me, but just miles and miles here of meadow along the highway. The highway, it looks like it is completely white, but that's just from the lightweight snow blowing across the road. So kind of looks like I'm driving through a river, I guess, or I like to say it looks kind of like ghosts coming across the road. But I don't know. I'm glad I'm doing it in the daylight. It wouldn't be quite as much fun in the dark, just because it looks like super low visibility up ahead. It's not as bad as real dense fog, but I mean it definitely obscures visibility more than maybe a half a mile. I can see vehicles about a half mile out. And it's daylight, so I can see the outline of them long before I can see if they have headlights on. I can see the outline before I can see the headlights. But I do see a few spots here where the snow is starting to drift a little bit, and they're starting to reach out past the white line on the shoulder and actually make it into the highway. But nothing bad. Nothing that would stop any cars. We're talking it's drifting, maybe 2-3 inches high is all, so nothing bad. Squib says it's 10. DJ's out there. What's up, DJ? Play nice. This is absolutely probably boring as hell for all of you to watch. But like I said, I threw the live stream on just because I miss talking to everybody. So thought I'd get a chance to interact while I'm driving out here all by myself and see who tunes in the middle of the day, says hi. So I was thinking I would have some Q&A if we had any of the, how do I say that? If we had somebody that isn't one of the usual suspects jump on here and say hi. So far, it's been mostly people that I know. I just see who's still in here on Facebook. Only be on for a second. I'm just, well, that sounds like TMI there, Dakota. But I guess thanks for chiming in, and I hope everything comes out okay in the end there for you. So, see what I did there. Yeah. We're going to see if we can go find some deer that they weren't moving around very well in November. So hopefully this cold and with some snow on the ground, they're out moving around and finding chow. It was not cold during deer season in November here in Nebraska. I think it almost got down to freezing one night. So I think over the coldest overnight low while I was up the 3 days that I had to hunt, I think coldest overnight low was like 33. And it got 50 one day, or close to it, 48, 49 for sure. So not ideal deer hunting temps as far as I'm concerned. Not for November. It's one thing to go out in 50-degree weather in September and sit with your bow, but it's not what I do. I live about 2.5 hours away from where I hunt, so it's not conducive to bow hunting. I don't have the time to go up every weekend or the resources to go up every weekend, and I can't just run out and sit for an hour or two after work in the evenings, like a lot of people do that hunt real close to where they live. So I don't bow hunt, never have. I just can't. I have to turn that a little bit, maybe. You know what? I don't want you guys to have to keep getting bright lighted by the sun. I'm going to end the feed. Thanks everybody for joining us, and maybe I'll go live here in the next day or two as I'm sitting still and we don't have the sun ruining the image. So for now, I will say good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks for tuning in.